It's the hot show, and I don't know how it's gonna go. It's a hot show, and I can't guess what's gonna happen next. So come on and join in. Let's do the hot show. Howdy, and welcome to the Hot Show. I'm joined as always by Shelton. Welcome, Shelton.
Howdy, Hop the Cat.
We once again played the music from Erica Miller at the beginning there.
Thank you, Erica.
Beautiful. So I just realized I forgot to do something, so hopefully we can get to that at some point. Starting off strong here. Here on the Hot Show.
Well, we never know how it's going to go. So.
We got a really, what I think will prove to be a very interesting episode of the Hot Show. We're getting into some meta-ness here today. Already, I've kind of referenced what I've done on this show. I'm really interested what we'll talk about and kind of what we'll do tonight. Great. Let's bring on some friends. Eric. Welcome.
Did you want me to make him disappear to come back?
Somebody's here, and it's Eric. No, you didn't have to make him go.
Get out of here!
Scram!
Welcome back.
How's it going today, Eric?
I'm thriving and I'm surviving.
Good.
Mood.
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
You do not, however, seem to be driving. Maybe we could see if we can get somebody who may be driving.
Oh.
Somebody's here, and it's Skunky Beaumont. Hey, Skunky.
Bonjour.
Hi, friends.
How's it going today?
Good.
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 You do not seem to be driving at the moment.
I am parked for the night.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. I'm glad we get to see your face today, because that doesn't always happen. And it's been a while since you've been around here, actually. It's a real pleasure to see you.
Likewise.
Yeah. Nice to see your face and one of your ears.
And one of your ears.
I don't know.
I feel like we should probably just keep rolling.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Hi, and quote in the chat. This is our friend that's hung out a few times, come on the show occasionally. It's great to see you today. So, yeah. And, I see we got another friend in the back.
This is like one of those Midwestern door openings.
He's here, and it's Garbanzo.
Hey.
Howdy.
How's it going?
Going good.
It's really lovely to see you today.
That was the first good with that much excitement. I think that brought a little energy to me.
wow. Hi. Welcome. Welcome to the show.
It's good to be here.
Good with two, all capital letters and then an exclamation point afterwards. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Like that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meta show.
This is the meta show. Yeah. So we're probably going to talk a bit about the hot show. That's kind of the main thing that is on my mind to kind of talk about. But to lead us in, I do have a little song. I know, Skunky, you occasionally do not get to see videos that I play. Hopefully other people do. But I made a little video for the song this week. Would you like to hear it?
Of course.
If you're on mobile, I think you have to tap to get the sound to work. Here goes. I'm singing a song right now. You're hearing a melody. These are words I wrote. Here's a rhyme that ends in E. The A section changes, gives way to the B. It sounds a little strange, but it'll turn around, you'll see. I'm singing you a meta song. It's reaching you through your ears. It's about a minute long. If I go ahead and end it here.
That was fantastic.
Oh, I enjoyed that.
Applause.
Thank you.
Applause for me.
Way to take a sledgehammer to that fourth wall, friendo.
See it.
I appreciate just the word applause in the chat. It's great.
I read that as applesauce immediately.
Applause. Applause.
Yeah, and while we're at it, I managed to get together the thing that I forgot to do earlier, and I thought let's check out the poster for this week, done by our very own Garbanzo,
Nice.
with our new applause again, applesauce, with a new sweet logo for the hot show. It's so
Thank
good. I love it.
you.
I love it. Garbanzo did a great job.
I like the crosses over. Oh, okay.
No, I could put it back up.
Bring it back.
This.
I suppose I could have done that too. I like the way that the lines go across the H and the T, like,
Ah,
and then the H, like it looks like a little leg, like da
It's like
da da da. I
Yeah.
don't know. Has a lot of personality
Long
to it.
motion in this type.
Yeah, I like it.
I hand wrote it.
That's a beautiful handwriting and lettering
Yeah.
you've done here.
It
Thank you.
is.
I also like the little tattery ears that you did here.
Mhm.
The aesthetic, a 10. The content, a 10. Overall vibe, 10. That's what you get.
Wow. 10s all across the board.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
It's great. Okay, I'm going to take it down now.
Art appreciation segment over.
We can appreciate some art. If you want, we can appreciate some more art. But I
We
thought
can even go through. There have been a lot of posters that have been made for the past.
That's true. It's true.
Retrospective. I feel like that's pretty meta. It's content about the hot
That's-
show. If you think
that's
about
true.
it. So I
Are
think
there-
a post retrospective is in order.
Great. What? Let's see. Are there any notable posters that anyone can wants to bring up?
I love the
You
Simpsons
might
one.
even be able to just open the Google Drive folder and scroll on through.
We can go through all of them.
Yeah.
We actually could probably do that. You can
Through
see a little behind the scenes of how I organize my folders.
Cool.
Ooh.
Oh, hey, buddy.
This was the previous one.
He's mad.
Here, let's maybe we can make this change the view for this.
There we go.
Yeah. Cool. There. That's it.
You were hovering over the delete for 1 second. I was
cool.
like, don't do that.
Is that hamster one from the time that we drew the tortoise leaning?
Guinea pig! For the love of God!
Yeah. Enough of that
Everyone.
one.
I'm going to take a minute to cool down. By that, I mean I need an ice pack for my back. I'll be right back.
There's the free space. And here I think we're two of the same one for some reason.
Nice.
Oh, I think one of them has a music to it, but we're not doing a sound retrospective at the moment. We're doing posters.
I like how varied your covers are. All my stream ads kind of have a template, but with a different background. But yours is like really different every time.
We have a lot of different artists that do these. Like even within these, I believe these. This one and this one were done by Shelton. This one was done by me. This one was done by our friend Penelope.
Penelope crushed it on that one. This
Yeah,
one's also very
that's
cute.
I did this one. I also did this one. This one was done by our good friend Ethan.
Oh, yeah. That combo of a photo of my dad. I love that photo. It's so cute. Also, what a great episode. Like the dad episode. Oh, speaking of which,
Everybody liked their dad.
it was, well, actually, we were talking, it was new dads who, like, it was a pre-dad who was about to have a baby.
And he's now a dad.
Now a dad. And then there were four other people that were not dads that were just talking about what it's like to be a dad. And then we had some people send in some videos about being a dad.
That's cute.
And I thought it was a nice episode. I think we're going to check back in with the dads at some point.
Yeah, probably around Father's Day.
Yeah.
I'm not a dad, but I am a cat dad. Or I'm more of a cat mom. I don't know. Whatever kind of parent. like gets the kind of reaction I get from my cats.
We were talking about doing a cat episode at some point too.
Okay, I nominate myself for the cat episode.
We'll let you know.
This was a very weird episode. We watched a very strange movie.
That was terrifying and weird.
This was-
Cool.
I think this one has the honor of being the laziest poster made
No.
for all of them.
I like that. The laziness gave way to creativity.
I give it readability 0.
Yeah. Let's get that rating system back again.
Yeah, I give like readability like 0, but it does have all the information on it.
I think if you want to see readability 0, I should make this, and then you can give that a 0. This is more legible than if I wrote it.
Yeah, you can at least read the hot joke. The rest of the info
I
is
can read
a little harder.
/hot the cat. That's legible letters.
I think it's just that I can't read what like that it says Twitch on the bottom, you know?
Yeah,
That's fair. It does sort of look like the pen was running out at that part.
yeah.
And then they like went over there and scribbled a little bit, like "draw, damn you," and then got back to writing.
That's very possible. Very possible.
Did you have fun making it? That's the important part.
Yeah, I did.
How
I
did
think
you
I
draw
remember.
stuff like that and not have fun?
I remember maybe getting a little stressed out from it also because I was. I like kept trying to make it like really perfect, and it is obviously not a thing to make perfect.
Yeah, that happens.
I like how his song spreads across the stickies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm commenting on the ghost.
I had
Yeah.
fun making this one.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Wait, was that a picture of you on that, like pretending to be a lawyer or something?
No, that was a picture of our friend Ryan.
Okay.
Who's a semi-regular on the show.
Was he on when I was on a couple of weeks ago?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
And this was also made by E.
Oh,
I'm
God.
sure.
Slay, Pete selfie game.
Well, the concert that I was going to got canceled, so he last minute made it a birthday episode.
Still a 10. Also a 10.
That's cool.
10. 10.
I love
This-
this one.
Some
Yeah.
sort of like 90s.
That's Claire's drawing, I think.
Yeah, this is a drawing by Claire Melly that I made into a poster.
Cool.
That's fantastic.
That's really
It's like if Rilo Kiley made like a Halloween EP, like that would be the cover.
Also, Hot, you did an incredible cool of Halloween by Phoebe Bridgers during this episode that like to this day like makes me smile.
Cool.
Like,
Oh, that's nice.
It was so like you just did a great job covering it.
Halloween reprise episode is in the air.
Halloween does come around again.
It does every single year.
Oh,
10.
Penelope.
Love this.
Yeah,
That
this
one's
is
so-
Penelope.
Was it
Another
a free?
Penelope? Yeah, it probably was. There was also a stretch where we just did episodes that were essentially free space episodes, but they just didn't have a theme or a name or any guest. It happens sometimes.
Sometimes those are really fun because there's just
The art style reminded me of like
I love
Tower
this one.
or something.
Oh,
Yeah, I really liked this one too.
Oh,
That is
Mac.
10.
like how the ingredients make the
that was your birthday episode too, so lots of people were in the chat, which was really fun.
There were some people, not a ton of Pete folks showed up for that one though. I was hoping for more, so we could have like a real chilly hangout. But you know, such is life. Such is life.
I like when we describe food on the show too.
Ooh, 10.
Cool. Yeah, that's a 10.
Really cool. 10.
That's another Penelope. Yeah,
Slay.
yeah,
What
that
did
one
she
was really cool.
Oh,
Oh,
10.
Oh, yeah.
Oot.
This one's kind of giving like Matisse energy.
Actually, you know who owns this now? I mailed it to Max
Oh, really?
for Christmas. Yeah, or like for the
Oh.
holidays. So,
You
but it's just the
crossover.
part that says oot, not the
Not the hot show part.
yeah.
For anyone who is unfamiliar, oot is a certain kind of episode, and we've only done one so far, but I imagine we'll do more potentially in the future, based on a dream that I had where all the hot show people were in a forest somewhere, and we all had our own workstations. And the show that we did that was that we all just went oot, and then just went and worked on our own projects.
That was a fun one.
It was, honestly, I would think I was pretty productive during that too.
Yeah.
I was not as productive as I wanted to, but we did end up writing a really cool song, or starting to write a very cool song that day. That was the one. That was when we started writing the. These things take time.
We should have finished that. That was a lovely.
Yeah, that's a good song.
I can't even remember.
I did finish writing that song.
Huh.
I then used it for the Lynn Riot episode.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh yeah, really one of my favorite posters.
That's a lovely one.
This
Honestly,
one,
I loved that episode. I would say that was the most surprising thing about this episode is that we did spend almost the entire time on the topic.
yeah.
Wow.
This was one that I put out the call for a poster, and I believe Max sent it back within like 15 minutes. It just, I think, just true inspiration struck. It's great.
Wow.
Oh yeah, this is also one that has the music to it, but I don't think we're going to get into that.
Drive-in.
Mhm. I believe this was a, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was a another E poster.
Wow.
Another Shelton.
I think I need to change up some of the. I'm still trying to teaching myself a little bit on graphic design, so I need to change up. Almost all of them are starting to look really similar.
I like it. It's like you have a style, and your style is kitchen chic and the font Chicago.
Maybe I'm gonna need to change up my font game.
It's like Hello Fresh, but make it techie.
That
I
was
will say,
specific to that episode.
I will say that the thing about all of your posters is that they all are just beautiful photos. I mean, which obviously speaks to your photography skills.
That's so true.
But it's great. Like that. They're always very striking, and they're always very original too, which is nice.
I know that it's just an onion and an egg in this picture, but the skill you have put into photographing it, I would eat with onion and egg.
That was a fun episode. I just remember being like incredibly stressed trying to make pasta during it, but I think I just like had fun. You know, like it was nice to just.
That was a good one.
And I think the thing that's like coming through to me is that when there's lots of people on, it's more fun.
Yeah. And I think also there's something about like doing things that I think is really nice. I like this. This was a free space episode.
Who did the poster?
This one was done by E. This was one of the earlier ones that I think you did.
Yeah, it's a good one.
This was one of the, I think, only designed by Erica Miller, who did the music.
Oh, cool! Ruby and Rusty tie-in. Love that.
Yeah, we did do a Ruby and Rusty release show where you could play. You could play the like you did like some things within Ruby and Rusty in order to try to win a copy of the game. And if you're not familiar with Ruby and Rusty, I do have a little song to tell the story of them that I
Really?
could play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
Ben-
the Ruby song.
Yeah, it's been a little while since I played it.
It's a catchy tune.
Can't wait.
Let's try it like this. Okay, hold on one second. Down in Grandma Onion's garden, son, working in the flower beds. She found a girl with a tomato and a boy with a beet for a head. Ruby and Rusty, such a trusty pair. They grew from the dusty earth, now jump through the air. From the coop to the corn, out to the witch's lair. Well, one brisk Halloween, Ma went and put a costume on that old scarecrow in the garden. Well, that scarecrow jumped up, turned into an evil witch, and just about frightened away all them crows. Well, Ruby and Rusty, they sure didn't like that. They were friends with those crows, and so they set out to find their feathered friends. Ruby and Rusty, such a trusty pair. They grew from the dusty earth, now jump through the air. From the coop to the corn, out to the witch's lair. From the coop to the corn, out to the witch's lair. Thank you.
That was fun. That was a fun episode because I feel like I remember y'all like had me try like playing a video game for the first time, I just not the first time, but just I'm not very good at them, and they normally like stress me out, and I actually had fun playing one. Also, I won these stickers.
Slay.
You guys want to see them? Max Oakland.
Cool.
Here's another Max Oakland. I don't know if this is Ruby or Rusty.
Let's
It's kind of giving
quickly
Rusty.
shift over to.
Sorry, I can't hold this.
Hold on.
Boop.
Go.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's Rusty.
Yeah.
And the junipers.
That's cute.
I like this one.
Aww. Aww.
And then it looks like
If like Little Miss, you're like, that series.
huh?
They're like the Little Miss character from like the 70s or so. It could be
Oh,
that
oh, there's a little slug. I really like this guy.
Slug. Oh,
Oh, it's so happy.
Isn't it cute?
Yeah,
I think there's a grandma character in Max's game as
yeah,
well.
that's Ma.
Ma. Is that Pa?
Yeah, that's Pa.
Ma and Pa. And then
Well, that's the one who started that whole mess.
very nice.
Ruby.
all right, we got a couple left. My arm is getting tired because I'm sore.
Spitting flower.
Yep, smoky flower. Those things are dangerous.
There's a little ghost.
Mhm. One of the well ghosts.
God, my fingernails look scary from here. All right.
Turn it.
Strawberry. And there's one more in the junipers, and then there's a couple that are just like hiding underneath here. Oh, there's one. This guy.
Oh yeah, little dust ball guy.
Baseball.
It's funny how well I know this. I've played that game a lot, as it turns out.
I got the other day. I introduced it to a friend, and he said he played and enjoyed it. And then there's two little flowers.
That's cool.
Aw.
Cute.
So that was a fun episode because I won.
I do want to. I know that Skunky's kind of been in and out, but while we're at a quick break from the poster retrospective, I thought this might be a good time to go. Somebody's here, and it's
Howdy.
Hi!
Hey, Luda.
I'm in the light. Fuck time change.
Where are
It's
you
in the
at?
dark.
This is
No.
This is a change to the show.
It's fucked up.
Normally, when we see Luda's in the dark.
It's fucked
Not
No.
up.
metaphorically,
We
just
still can't have a quick question here though.
Where in the world is Luda?
This question just has gotten so boring ever since that beautiful graphic was made. It's so embarrassing. I'm gonna start making it up.
You could get more
Can I say
specific.
previous locations?
I think you should get more specific about where in the world you are. Like
Yeah.
without giving away your address, please.
yeah, like
I know, but we were talking about that in my town, actually.
Actually, you're supposed to answer in Spanish because somebody in the
Estoy
chat said "Donde está?"
Estoy in Elkton, Oregon. No, we were talking about this in my town because somebody we were talking about how if somebody was trying to find me, it would be so easy because there's 200 people in this town. Like literally all you have to do is like go to the local bar or restaurant or anything and be like, "Where's Jess?" And they'll be like, "Oh, she's over here on the hill," or like because I like live in a big red barn. It's like you just have to drive around the 3 streets we have and you can find me. Like I don't want to
Okay.
get more specific
Okay.
online.
Not confined to
Who the
barn
fuck
I
is
live.
that?
Doesn't stand out at all. I'm not a unique individual at all. Don't confine me. I'll be easily found.
You should just appear very threatening so that no one can find you.
I will say that I am noticing that you do not seem to be at a bar or a restaurant.
I'm in a gazebo.
See, that's the info that I was interested in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm in a gazebo. Let's see.
It's so nice to see sunlight because it's
Yeah,
I know.
wow.
It's dark right now.
here.
In the
There's my
central
view.
time. I thought you were in
That's
like
the view.
Australia or something because I didn't realize.
Here's the.
that.
Let's go see the barn. You want to see the
Oh, shit,
barn.
cool.
This is giving me life right
There's the fire pit.
Cool fire pit too.
There's my car. There's the barn.
now. Hi, barn.
That's a badass barn.
That is a nice barn.
I mean, that
Barns
I
are
was
red.
just in those
Really
clouds,
cool.
like, fuck, what's your life, Jeff?
She's so badass for video.
Let's see if we can have some turkeys that come by.
have.
Here's the cat.
Oh, cat.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Show.
Run away,
Wait,
run
did you
away.
see it?
Look, there's a cat up here. You should come check it out. No, it's
That's not the friendly cat. There's another cat who comes sits on my lap.
It's lovely.
That's the barn.
That
Now
was
you
a
guys
really
all
cool
know where I
barn.
am. The whole internet knows. Come find me, Elkton, Oregon. Population 200. Pretty easy. Just ask for
I mean-
Jess. There's only one of me in town. We have like a couple.
Again,
we have a couple
You're like,
Daves.
don't stalk me. Here's some very easy steps to find me, though.
No, we have a couple
No, I
Daves
think
in
it-
town, and the Daves are known as Uphill Dave and Downhill Dave. I'm Midhill Jess.
That's so strange. I wonder if it'd be easier or harder to find a Luda.
Yeah, use that.
Luda would be harder, but I can tell you about the. Let's see if I can do it. So the hill, I think of it as 3 fingers, right? So if you're at the bottom of the finger, that's where the road is, but also where the river is.
Cool.
But if you're down there, all you can hear is the road, and you can't hear the river.
Is that called River Road?
If you're down, it's no. I'm not gonna say the highway name now, but
Okay.
if you're at the first finger, all you can hear is the road.
Okay.
If you're at the middle finger, you can only hear the road. But I'm like up here. Wait, how do I normally do it? No, I guess I'm on the first finger. But if you're up here where I am, all you can hear is the river. So if I open my window at night, you can just hear the river. There's a forest in my backyard. You want the forest?
Wait, I'm confused. Is it the top finger and the bottom finger you only hear river, and then the middle fingers you hear road?
The 2 first fingers you just hear the road, but the top finger you hear the river.
Even though the river is by the lowest road?
Yeah, like my work. If I do it, it's hard because I don't have enough fingers. Normally I have these 3 fingers, and then I have 2 fingers down here.
12 additional fingers.
We got a lot of fingers on this show.
Yeah, well, you can use
I
arm
don't know how to do it. Maria Cristina, por favor.
Whoa, assistance.
Yes. Un momento, ayudarme. Sí. Para un momento. Este es mi trabajo aquí. Oh wait, my work is here. But this is the river, and this is my work. In between, you can only hear the road, even though it's closer to the river. But for some reason, the acoustic up here is better.
That's so crazy.
Thank you, Christina. Everyone say
Thank you.
Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Christina.
You were also holding a cigarette in there too.
We have a Spanish woman who moved into the barn, and she only speaks Spanish. And anyways, but here's the forest. So at night, you come to the forest. There's this little picnic table.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's so cute. That looks just like Gulliver's.
Picnic table and you can forest bathe and sound bathe.
That's
where
nice.
What do you mean sound
no.
bathe?
Like just only hearing the clean nature sounds, none of that nasty, awful people noise that makes you sick when you realize there's other people around.
It'd probably be good for me. I feel like I just overhear a lot of conversations because I'm on public transit all day, and I get really invested in them sometimes, and then I just have to like leave, and I'm like, I wonder what happened with that trifling ex-wife, you know?
Yeah.
I do really like we thought that the answer to that question of where in the world was Luda was going to be really boring, but it turned out to be really wonderful and fascinating.
It's so true. I'm jealous of constant country life that you get to have. Like, not that I want to be like yeehaw, but like the healing nature is so peaceful. And I bet there's a really good diner in your town that makes amazing eggs and hash browns.
Oh my god! Like, yeah. So we have 3 restaurants in town. One is Arlene's, and it's a diner, like you described. But Arlene's is a diner / convenience store / bar that closes at 7 p.m.
Bar that closes at 7
p.m. That's where I was just hanging out with the locals.
Did you say
we've got the pizza shop that's wood-fired, like legit good pizza. Italian. But then we have a Mexican food truck, which is fucking legit Mexican food. Awesome.
It's good to know that there's good Mexican food that far away from the border. It makes me feel good. I'm trying to move north to Minnesota, but I'm used to all the delicious Mexican and Vietnamese food here in Oklahoma City. I'm going to miss it if I move away.
For some reason, I thought you were in California.
No.
Perhaps it was just the ponytail. for me.
No, I mean, hey, listen. If this is what it takes for me to move to California, if that's all it takes, then I guess I could try it. But there's not enough water there.
I'm gonna put the stickers on a notebook because I feel like
Do
they're
it.
sitting on my desk.
That's a
So
good idea.
Yeah, that's nice.
Luda, have you always lived in the countryside, or were you a city girl at one point?
Oh, I lived in Chicago for like over 10 years.
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Um,
Luda was nomadic for a year.
Versus city life.
No, I was actually nomadic for 2.5 years, almost 3
Oh.
years. But
Cool.
no, I was in Chicago for 10 years, and I actually went to Portland this week. And I think Hot and Shelton know that when I go to Chicago, I have like a 24-hour ticking clock. It's like I have to like look at the watch, and it's like, oh, we're getting almost to 24 hours. Jessica has to go down. Jessica has to leave before she melts down. But I went to Portland to visit a friend who was in town, and was in town for less than 24 hours, and it went bad. I can't do it anymore. I can't. I was like, take me to my gentle little town. And I was supposed to stay for longer, and I was like, I love you, friend, but I have to leave. And I ran home, and I sat by the river. I felt better.
Nice.
That's like social anxiety to the max. Like,
No, I mean, I got attacked when I was in Portland. I get it every time I'm in a city. I'm a magnetic human being. Like,
really.
beautiful, wonderful things. Like me moving to this town and like finding a job that's perfectly fits my career, even though it's a town of 200. Like, how the fuck does that happen?
But were
But
you
also
abandoned by the
take me to
river?
the city and somebody's gonna attack me within 10 minutes. Like,
You got
magnetic.
we have an important question in the chat, which is
Were you in a
in a
van?
van down by the river.
No, I was in a CRV.
Cool.
Be down that river.
There are parts of this that are not super that are curvy, and other parts that are not curvy. So I'm trying them to be all curvy.
Cool.
Nice,
Slay.
nice.
Hmm.
I was thinking maybe we could go back to
Poster retrospective.
retrospective, the poster retrospective, because I spied what the next one is.
Cool.
What is happening in this?
That rock has a story.
Yeah, this is a person floating on, or I guess actually a hot even, floating on a tube on the river, holding a cool rock.
Cool rock.
I like the colored. Is it colored pencil?
That was colored pencil, yeah.
Yeah, it's cute. Is that a garbanzo original?
That is.
I feel like the last time I saw you, Garbanzo, you were at a river having
Probably.
interaction with wildlife.
That was
Yeah,
fucking wild.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, bear. Yeah.
I really, we haven't put that up on the Hot Show because that happened actually on the Max show. But
Right.
that was one of the best, like wildest moments that has happened on the Hot Show or the Max show. Yeah,
For those of you who don't know, there was a bear interaction between Garbanzo, where Garbanzo was outside.
Oh, I saw that. I was there for
And
it.
a bear arrived on scene, and he was like, "Oh, I kind of want to get a closer look," and then it was too close. And then we were all frantically Googling what to do and giving Garbanzo live advice.
and
on
he
what
just-
to
He made a
That
very
was great.
powerful guttural noise, and it scared the bear away happily ever after.
Yeah, and it was like a
It was quite a noise.
I remember that. I remember that. That was great.
Could you do a quieter version of the noise that you made?
It wasn't exactly that.
I love you, Garbanzo, but that was nothing near it. It was like, oh,
Yeah, it was more like it was like
It was the sound you make when you're about to get eaten by a bear.
Google about to get eaten by bear sounds, and it was that.
Yeah. Speaking of meta stuff, I feel like we should get some of these episodes up on the YouTube. I know it takes a long time to upload, but
A bunch of them are uploaded, and I just haven't put a bunch of them like actually up because I don't have the like. It takes a little bit of time to like put the info in and stuff, and I like to say kind of like some of what happened in the episode because some of these episodes are just like 2.5 hours, and like if you don't know what you're getting into, you know.
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, at a certain point, what we
That's an
decided to
awful-
do
Wow,
hour
it's
and
like
a
a
half.
beta version of the new logo
Who
version.
made
That's,
this?
yeah, I think that's where it was thought up, but I am so not happy with that one.
But
Well,
I like that
one.
it has the meta quality of like
I do think your newer one is more like consistent in its aesthetic.
yeah.
It's more polished.
There's also the
Oh,
one
I
that.
like that one.
Oh wow.
The Hot Show Turns one. Is that your cat?
That's
Is that
otter.
two
That's
Oh,
pizzas?
wait.
Walmart.
Is it perhaps? I think we have to reference something here. Give me a hot second.
Did you say one hot? I
Yes.
forgot about Otter. He's so perfect and precious.
That lovely, lovely bumper was made. Oh.
We've got an otter moment.
How do I?
I'm trying so hard to make it happen.
Here we go.
I love you, Otter. You're a cute cat. Where's my cats? I feel like I need to bring my cats into the picture, but they're not nearby.
It's always a lovely time in otter time. Things move more slowly. It's more peaceful.
Sleeping guy. He's a cute little fella.
A pink paw.
Yeah.
He's pretty
I support him.
try to get a little more light on him.
I would vote Otter for Senate and any other office that he ran for.
People when they vote for like
Buenas noches.
stuff, like their
¿Cómo
owners,
estás?
their owners have to like do all their.
¿Estás cansado? ¿Necesitas dormir?
Luda.
I'm gonna mute Luda.
Yeah, please.
Ruda, Luda.
All right.
Luda, when you want to be unmuted, give me a thumbs up.
Oh, sorry. I unmuted myself. Sorry. I forgot to do that. Speaking Spanish and shit. Sorry. I'm not in Mexico anymore, but I'm still speaking Spanish all the fucking time. It's hilarious. I said that I wanted
No,
to
I mean, it's great.
practice my Spanish, and I was sad not to practice my Spanish, and then all these Spaniards keep showing up in my barn in the middle of Oregon. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, I think that's cool. I really support it. But we're also trying to have conversations.
Sorry, I didn't mean to not unmute myself.
So loud.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, should we go? I think Hot Show Turned 1 we talked about the other episode as
Yeah,
well. That was
we did kind of a retrospective during that one actually. So we could fly through some of these other hot shows posters.
Cool.
Remember to hydrate? Classic.
Cool.
this one was so cool.
Oh, cool. It's the Max show.
Yeah, there's a poster for the Max show.
I think I was there for that one.
Yeah, you probably were.
Under that poster.
Yeah, we have a few Max show posters. I think this might mean. Yeah. Here's
Whoa.
Yeah.
What was the one before that? That was cool.
Yeah,
another
I was there.
Penelope.
Like that one.
Yeah, this is
I love that one. That's another Penelope, right?
Mhm.
Cloud Talk. Cool.
We gotta get Dave back on from Cloud Talk. He's majestic.
On the next show. Yeah, and that's all the ones in that poster.
Slay.
In that
I love that
folder
one.
right now.
Oh, the Simpsons.
I want that framed.
Who is that?
Here,
Oh, it's us.
Us.
People.
This is
I
by
can I could bring that up.
I'm having difficulty with there not being a glare, but actually this makes it almost better.
Is
More
that
meta.
So meta.
Flanders?
There's a garbanzo.
Wow.
There's a Hot the Cat. There's an Ethan. There's a Ryan. There's an Amy. There's a Penelope, and Max got cut off because this frame is too small. But sorry, Max.
Sorry, Max. Pour one out for Max, guys.
I could I don't know. Sorry. My
I
bad.
forgive you. You have my forgiveness personally.
You are forgiven.
What was that? That was lovely and weird.
Here's the bigger version.
There
Oh,
we
cool.
go. Now you can see Max.
Nice.
I like how weird Ethan's hand is.
It is very strange.
I miss my beard. I gotta get that back.
I'm digging this haircut though.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's a nice haircut. I was like, I feel like Garbanzo's hair shorter this time. Congrats on your haircut.
Yeah, so I feel like as this is like a meta episode, there are some things that I'd like to say that I like. It's very important to me, like that the hot show, like a big part of what it is to me is the like kind of showing the process of trying to make a show and like being very open about that process and being very open about like doing this like creative thing and not necessarily knowing how to do it, but still doing it anyway, and still trying to do it and like kind of making that attempt, but being open about like that it doesn't always work and like it like we're figuring it out as we go along and stuff. And so like I really do want to have kind of like a conversation about like how the hot show is going. You know, like how like I know that, you know, like of course like Sheldon and I have been like the ones who've kind of been like here and everyone else kind of like rotates in and out and kind of comes and goes as it happens. But like, I don't know, just the whole process of doing this has been like quite a weird thing. And like, I think it's important to have like a conversation about how it's going, but then also like kind of where do we go from here? And I don't know what that conversation will be like, but I want to have it, and I thought it might be interesting to have it here, like on the hot show. Even though it might be a strange thing to like get into live.
There was one thing I was thinking about, like when we were talking, like when you introduced this idea, and I had seen this like Instagram video that talked about like, it was talking about somebody who was going through grief, and it was somebody who was talking like they said that the most helpful question that was asked in order to like move forward was like not like what this like I don't want to say struggles, but like what the struggles were with grief, but it was rather like the part that they shared that was most helpful was like what things have you done so far to make it like this helpful. And I don't know, I think that there maybe if people shared like something that they like about the show and when it goes well, that might be helpful. like this fucking crow right now is.
Jazzy.
Sorry. I'm
No,
not
that was-
speaking Spanish.
No, it was good. That was a good thing.
God
The
damn
crows,
it.
the crows were great. Those crows were
Crows are
beautiful.
welcome.
Yeah.
I just realized there's no crows.
I hope there's turkeys that come. We have turkeys that come 3 times a day. They have this pathway that I guess they walk the crosswalk in town, I was told today. Anyways.
I'd like to see more turkeys on the show.
I'll try to get you a turkey. It's a little bit late in the day for a turkey. I don't know if I'll get a turkey, but
Do you think like right at 8 you could get a turkey?
Turkey time.
normally it's a little bit earlier in the day. They come around dawn
That's very
and then
early
like
in
a
the
little
day.
bit before midday and then a little bit before dusk. It's a little bit late for a turkey, but if I go into my bedroom, sometimes you can hear a gobble when they get scared. Yeah, if you hang out, maybe if I get tired enough, I'll hang out in my bedroom and then you can hear the river, the turkey gobbles, the geese, the crows.
Ooh.
And girl.
I said that because it's starting to rain, and I saw a little bit of lightning. I was like, ooh.
Sorry, back to things besides crows.
And rain.
What do you guys like about the hot show?
I love the musical numbers. I'm not usually
Yeah.
a musical numbers kind of guy, but Hot is such a songwriter, a singer-songwriter extraordinaire. We love that here on the Hot Show.
Can you say wait, what? I missed it. Couldn't hear you because there was a rustling from someone.
It wasn't me.
Oh, me? Sorry, I'm so soft-spoken. Sorry. Yeah, the musical numbers, man. They're the best. The singer-songwriter aspects of this show are unique aspects of this show. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I enjoy.
We
I
love a
really
good.
like watching how the show like evolved and changed. Like it was at first just us like doing weird shit like cutting our own hair and stuff like that, and then slowly like people started to come in and we got regular characters and segments, and that's been really fun to watch as it evolves.
Do you have a favorite segment?
Mm.
And
Oh, I like them all. I like the songs. The songs are probably the peak.
I also like Otter Time.
Otter Time is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
I have fun doing the moments of joy, but I don't do them regularly. I should. I've been inconsistent.
Those are lovely. I really enjoy the moments of joy.
Yeah, they are very nice.
Even though like you kind of came in and out of the show for a bit, like it was nice to have that little part of garbanzo because I know you were working on like Thursdays, and then those little videos were just like a nice little garbanzo piece that made me cry tears of joy every time.
We could show one, since this is sort of a show where we're kind of looking back, because they haven't happened very often. I think we've only had 4 or 5 of them, but this was one.
Garbanzo's moment of joy.
Actually had that pizza again this week. It's my
That was like a really amazing pizza. I'm jealous of
I'm very happy.
you. And
It's one of the happiest things, the things that make me the happiest about being in Jersey again. The pizza is top notch.
Sick. And end quote says, "My mental health adventures kept me away from joining stream for a while." Oh, and we can feature it on screen here.
Do you want to read it out loud?
Yeah, but I appreciate this opportunity to connect with some of my old friends and learn about their neat and lovely friends. That's me. I'm a neat and lovely friend. Sorry. My social brought us all into my crawl space that one time. Never forget. I wish I was there for the crawl space episode. That was interesting.
Oh,
It was rather interesting, and we met in an 80. I believe it was an end quote is 87 years old. So it made it for a pretty interesting segment about the elderly.
That I will say that episode was one of the best episodes that has happened, because it really had that feeling of people just kind of coming in and out and like cool, interesting things happening. That was when we met the alien Thad. If you are not familiar with that, Thad is worth learning about. Hopefully, Thad joins again sometime. And then we went into and in quotes crawl space, which was just with some just kind of going into the crawl space as we were talking about that she had recently had a colonoscopy, and we did some art that episode. It was just such a that one hit kind of the wow, I have no idea that any of these things were going to happen today, or that any of these people were going to show up, and they did, and it was great.
Yeah, there's also something lovely about the randomness
I
of
forgot I shared that detail. That's funny.
and end quote. That was a large majority of the interview questions that we asked you. So I'm surprised you forgot, but also you're pretty elderly, so I understand. I also forgot about the colonoscopy until you just mentioned it.
It was such an amazing pairing of things.
Wait, is that what you meant by crawl space?
No, we actually moved into the crawl space in her house.
I gotta mute myself. Holy
I thought there was gonna be a live colonoscopy,
It was just it was a great
Shelton's making me so happy right now.
It's nice when you're here. We can have a moment of joy live.
I'm happy that I can come again.
Yeah, we're
Me
happy to have you.
too. Good to see you, Garbanzo. Where the fuck have you been?
Moment of joy.
I've been getting my head repaired.
Well, that's worth it.
Yeah, I like what and then I think we talk about mental health on the show quite a bit too, and I think that there are times when everybody can come even if they're having a bad day, and there are days when I'm having a weird day and then I feel better after the show.
Yeah, this show started at a really rough point in my life, got me through it. Having it to come to and a good place to escape for a little while was really nice. It seriously helped me.
In that way, this kind of reminds me of whenever I was younger, going to the queer social groups and hanging out with my peers. It's that sort of regularity, and I know that I haven't been on this particular show super regularly.
But you have been kind of part of the extended community.
I am in the extended hot show universe, and I think, being a part of this crowd, it's nice. It's a sort of community that I haven't had in a while. So it's cool. It's cool to have these kinds of buddies in the air.
I'm working on a little note taking. These are some things that I'm hearing. I added Luda directly underneath randomness because I like that there's an aspect to when Luda comes on the show. We just, no matter what we're doing, it gets entirely derailed, but sometimes in the most beautiful way,
Yeah.
And quote, this is just bringing us into their attic sometime.
Yeah,
What is it?
there's gonna be a toilet that flushes and Spanish, and you don't know where I'm gonna be.
Yeah. And I kind of like that.
I have a thing to say. I especially really loved a couple of weeks ago when we were doing the art night with your friend Amy.
Oh,
No.
Claire McCauley.
That was
And so I used to draw all the time because I just loved to draw and it made me feel good.
Yeah.
And then I went to art school and it kind of ruined that for me.
Dude,
And I've been trying to like get it back. Oh, I think that notebook. Wait, let me see if I can find it in my car. Boop, 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 boop. Sorry. Boop, 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 boop. So we had that night with Claire where she came up with that really fun game of like, people were choosing like different words and mashing them together. And we were drawing things with them. And then like afterwards, I was like so excited about it that I just like had random people just be giving me like emotions and then like, sorry, I'm trying to do too many things at one time. I'm trying to like find the drawings and tell the story. So she had us like draw.
She had us do, it was like an adjective and a verb. It was an adjective and a verb.
Explain it for me, Shelton. Thank you.
bewildered hot dog.
So, like, I have
Bewildered hot dog.
Are we here to draw bewildered hot dog?
Bewildered hot dog.
We did before. This was.
Oh,
this
okay.
was
We did like a pig eating pizza, and then like afterwards, somebody told me to do like a angry avocado.
Oh my god,
Or
that's
anxious
so
avocado.
lovely.
So I did like an anxious avocado.
Here, let me bring
that
that. big,
green
big
is
figure.
fantastic in there.
That is truly amazing. He's
I
got
love that,
Homer
Luda.
Simpson energy. Like Homer
Thank
Simpson
you.
got transformed into an avocado.
So it was just like a really exciting like thing. And then I haven't drawn like years. It's been like I haven't been able to get out of this style that I always do and can't get out of it. And then just yesterday I finished this piece, which I haven't done a piece in a long time, and this one I was pretty happy with.
Ooh.
That's cool. I love that.
Wait.
So, oh my gosh, the little patterns in there.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice till you got.
Wait, sorry. It's really hard to hold it up.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh,
That looks
cool.
like you have a wild
Pattern
beard.
on your shirt is kind of.
Nice. Yeah, it's like
Also, I like holding it.
But I've had a really hard time getting out of my like style and my shtick, and I feel like that kind of like just made me like fall in love with like before I went to art school. I just used to love making art because it was good for my mental health, and if I went a couple days without drawing, I would feel like untethered.
yeah.
And then I'd be like, oh, it's because I haven't drawn in a few days. But then I went to art school and it fucked it all up. And then every time I fucking draw, I'm like, what are people gonna think about it? Or what if I posted it on Instagram? Or what am I even accomplishing in the art world? And how is this any different or unique? Or like all the fucking shit. And like the last 2 nights I've been able to just like draw because it felt good to draw and be like, well, I'm gonna fuck this part up, or like that part I don't like, but like I'm learning and it'll be part of the process for like the next drawing, and just like kind of just like been able to just like space out and enjoy it and make it so that like it made me feel good. And I like missed that so much, and I think part of that I got because we were doing those fucking weird drawings, like, so that was my thing.
And
Fuck you, I'm not gonna give you that big of a compliment. It's all right, I don't like the hot show that much.
I really want to just add on to what Luda said. There's something that I like about the show that, like, a couple of weeks ago, it was a free space episode, and Ryan I don't know how this conversation started. I think somebody asked Ryan if he played music, and then he said kind of, and then answered that he, and I was like, why would you say kind of? Like, and he said something about like how every time he tried to make something, like somebody had already done it, or it like sounded similar to something that like somebody has already done. And we talked about the challenge of like making something, like if you're going out trying to make something original, like if that's your only goal, then it's impossible. But if you're just trying to like tell a story and make something unique based on yourself, or like you're combining different things, or just finding inspiration, or just allowing like yourself to like follow the joy, that can lead to better things. And I don't know who's all, was it just you, me, Ryan, and
Brooke was there.
Brooke was in?
Garbanzo was there.
Yeah. I think he might have been in the chat, but I don't know. There was a nice part of that episode that I think Claire being the person afterwards, like, was oddly helpful for me, because I just was thinking about like how I was seeing that in Ryan, and we were talking about like how like that's so frustrating, like to like be in that headspace. But I think we've all been there at some point, like had that self-doubt. And I think the hot show kind of creates a space of like silliness that you don't have to worry, like you don't have to worry about what it looks like in the moment, because you have to like, even with speed drawing, like you just have to do it so fast that it's, like, you can't
drawing
It's
like
one of my favorite
speed,
things to
drawing
do.
the speed cover within a speed limit. Like I was like, this is the fucking funnest thing I've done in so long. This is so fun. Like it was just like, what the fuck can you do like that? And I think that like that kind of joy like catapulted me into being able to draw just for fun again. Like so that like I can just like I would tell like one friend like, give me an emotion, and another friend like, give me a fruit or a vegetable.
I'm so sorry.
And then I can be like, anxious avocado. Like, who the fuck gives a fuck? Like, what that looks like.
I have to make someone's screen big for a second. Oh, how do we?
Wrong person.
I'm trying to.
If you're just doing it, you can just do at the bottom. Yeah.
Oh.
Giddy.
Meow.
He might claw my face in a minute.
All right, well.
Until we get there.
Oh, he's getting ready. Animal deaths.
Yeah. We both tried
He's
putting
been
it
feeling
in.
a little rebellious.
That seems to be another thing that people like.
I mean, that's true always, in every situation.
Even if it's a bear. Just kidding.
No, I mean, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. I'm liking that this note taking has turned into something kind of cute.
Making art. Challenging.
I always love a mind map. Can you make it big? Thank you.
Claire, specifically, drawing games.
Drawing games. We have drawing.
Like that. Characters. All right. Sweet.
I do love the songs. I always feel like I'm like in a Mr. Rogers episode.
That's so true.
That's my favorite thing. I love the fact that I feel like I'm a Mr. Rogers episode.
I was also gonna add like underneath like challenging your creativity, and I was just gonna put non-judgmental face.
Yeah.
And I think like the weird questions too. What's your favorite, or what animal are you today? Those kinds of things. Shelton's always really good at asking questions too.
They pop into my head, and then I have a hard time getting them out.
We know.
I've been a little bit better about being patient. Before
We
the
actually, Ann Inco here, that we need a cooking episode. We have done 2 cooking episodes, but it's been a little while. We should do another one. It's always pretty fun, but a little crazy. An onion, an egg, and something green is one of the ones that we did.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the poster that I made too.
I have been thinking about preparing some baked potatoes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You can bring us with. You could see that.
Oh, we could do a potato night. I love making potatoes. I've
We
been
have
wanting to
talked
make
about doing a potato night.
potatoes for potato
lady,
lady.
mashed
Come
potato.
on.
Okay.
That's
On potato night, I'll do baked potatoes live on the air. I'll make
Oh,
sure.
I've attempted twice baked potatoes, but if somebody could,
Oh, I do twice baked potatoes every time. I know. I had it down. I also have a before I bake them even the first time, I put them in a Ziploc, and in that Ziploc I put oil, I put salt, I put garlic salt, I put some shredded Parmesan cheese, and if I have any on hand, I might put a few really, really ground up to a powder Cheez-Its. And that kind of goes on the outside when you bake it, and it's just super nice flavor for the peel, if you're the peel eating type like myself. So yeah, and then obviously I do some cheese and butter near the end to twice bake it.
I think if you're there to help guide me through them, I might attempt them.
I will, if we do a potato themed episode, I will be doing that.
Oh,
That reminds me of the episode when on the Hot Show when me and Hot the Cat were making potatoes. People were giving us guidance on how to make the baked potatoes.
Oh, I think that was a
Max show.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to make some potatoes with this shit that I get. It's it's like a former Yugoslavian spice.
Shit.
What is it?
You guys all, I think my brain also went there, but it was because of the pause between shit and.
What kind of spice is it?
It's called Vegeta.
Cool.
And it's
tasty.
It's just like a bunch of ground up vegetables and salt, pretty much, if you look at the ingredient list. But it's yellow, and you add it to potatoes, and oh my god, it's so good. Let me go find it in my car.
This kind of made me think of this cooking show that I found on YouTube. It's this dude with an insane mustache, and he was people are always oh, if I over season, it'll be if I made something too salty. He's no. You cannot season too early, and you cannot over season.
Add a potato.
So I took that advice.
Especially with potatoes.
Mac and cheese. I made some mac and
You
cheese.
can make shit too salty.
A lot of chili powder and curry powder and red pepper and some other shit in there with the macaroni while it was boiling. And that was the best macaroni and cheese I've ever had. That made a difference, even though it was just while I was boiling the noodles. That's to that pot of mac and cheese. For being so amazing. All right. Vegeta. Oh my god. That spice level is over 9,000.
I don't like the way that's pronounced. It's weird.
Yeah, it's a strange one.
Vegeta? Huh?
Everybody else kept saying Vegeta.
Vegeta.
Name.
Like David Guetta. All right.
This is if you're Serbian or Croatian or Montenegrin, this is what you use to cook everything.
All right.
Shit's good. The ingredients list is this one. There's some ones that are not natural. But this one is sea salt, dehydrated vegetables, carrot, parsnip, onion, potato, celery root, tomato, leek, paprika, parsley leaves, sugar, lovage, black pepper, turmeric, garlic, dill. If you get the unnatural one, it has a shit ton of monosodium glutamate. But
okay, I'm into this. I'm gonna look for that the next time I'm at the store. And maybe I'll work that into my baked potato crust.
Yeah. Spaghetti's the shit. Especially with potatoes.
Garbanzo, did you share anything that was like a top tier fave? Like the
Yeah,
hot show.
right?
Yeah. There are many of them that I don't know. The hot show's
Yeah.
got a special place for me.
It was like the segments and the getting through a hard time and
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, I think I wrote it down. I just want to make sure I got.
Yeah, this actually hand into
I would love to
bring
do
up-
a yoga episode.
yeah. We've actually talked about doing this, and then it just happened that was around the time when it became difficult for Garbanzo to keep being on the show at that time. But yeah, we should do another. We should do a yoga episode. That'd be great.
My knees are like in such terrible condition. I'll do my best.
I am into it.
I walked 6 miles yesterday, so actually maybe my knees are getting a little bit better, but they are at a baseline really bad. So.
This is a judgment-free space, Irk.
Okay, good. If you don't mind sounding like I've taken an entire pack of toothpicks and I'm just breaking them all, then maybe I can do some yoga with you guys.
I currently have broccoli on my back because I injured it this week.
I could probably get a good loud crack right now. I don't know if it'd be audible. But...
When I worked at Gap in 2017, my store flooded the entire mall. And I was the only person tall enough at my store to help carry shit down from our upper level stock room. So my knees have never been the same. Yeah.
Well, and end quote is 87, so I'm sure her knees have some stories.
Yeah,
I like the balance episode a lot, or when we're just balancing on one foot the whole thing.
Yeah, Oh, and you know what? I got a balance.
I think it'd be interesting to do a second balance episode.
But
that's a very early one.
Yeah, if we do like a part 2 to
this
that,
thing is fun to stand on.
where we can balance into
I
it.
could try to make it my way through.
Oh, there we go.
All right, balance board is a go. We're
Balance, like a goat upon my talking balance, like equal when a cow talking balance, like a squirrel up on power line, don't fall to one side. You know we all face this challenge, keep our balance. Like a turtle on its back, I'm talking balance. Like a seesaw laying flat, I'm talking balance. Like a water on that great divide, don't fall to one side. You know we all face this challenge, keep our balance.
Slay. We all did so amazing. We're balancing left and right.
I feel like I'm supposed to eat this broccoli now that it's like thawed. Because I'm using it as the ice pack. Whoa, garbanzo.
We're over here expressing our athletic talents.
What? That's so cool.
Okay, handstands. Yeah.
Are you
Okay,
on?
we see you.
I'm just feeling good.
I'm just feeling good.
I'm pretty impressed.
I want to do the next episode on our heads.
I don't know if I could do the whole thing. I could do part of it though.
I could try. Or I could just hold my computer upside down and we can pretend like I am.
We could do an upside down episode next time.
Yeah.
Upside down episode.
All right, everyone.
We don't have a theme.
Last time I was with Hot the cat, and we had a little meeting about the hot show at my apartment, and I did a terrible job cooking because I panicked and forgot an
All
ingredient.
right.
But I set a 1-minute timer, and I asked us both to just write down ideas for the show. So everyone shout ideas at me, and I will write them down as fast as I can.
Before we do that, I don't know that I got to really say anything during that last part. I don't know. I guess I don't know. It's really nice to hear all of the things that you're all saying about the show. Obviously, this is the hot show. But I don't know. I feel like to me, what I like the most is kind of like having a reason to do creativity every week. And part of that is to come and do creativity with people, people who I don't know, who are all really amazing creative people, and just to sit and hang out and talk about creativity. And we get really distracted a lot and stuff, but we also, I don't know, it's so cool to just be creative like that, just have a reason to every week think about creative practice in some ways. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the thing that really gets me, is just that I do really love just getting together with people. And it's so cool that people show up for it when, people show up for it. Yeah, it's great. I really like that. You don't have to clap. Don't clap.
I didn't want it to be a loud clap, but just a...
Hey.
Maybe a snap. Maybe just a snap then.
It seems like we're being now.
It just seemed like a strange, no one clapped for anyone else. Why did you clap for me?
I think it was because you're the host, and you were saying thank you in a way that felt like an acceptance speech. So I just decided to.
Oh, I don't really like that. Maybe I should take it back.
No, don't.
Take it all back. We're insulted now. We're gonna throw tomatoes.
Yeah.
Can you guys help me remember what the other drawing games are? Because we do speed drawing.
We have the top and bottom one that's a lot of fun, or side
the exquisite corpse one.
Exquisite corpse, yeah. How do you spell exquisite?
EXQUISITE. That's the letters that are in that word.
Thank you.
I got really excited this week because you can make your own layout for the show now for the StreamYard, and I made an exquisite corpse one, so you can have two people.
It reminds me of that one episode where Shelton and Michael looked like they were in the same room.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
It was, I think, 2 episodes ago, but it was it seemed like I was in, we were right in the same room. It was nice. Because Skunky isn't here because he is having internet problems, I also wanted to add that just the random Skunky facts. Skunky just knows so many facts about random fucking things, and I just have no idea where they come from, but I think I learn, like, part of creativity is involved in, like, learning too. And he'll just be like, did you know about this kind of taxidermy? And sometimes I don't know whether he's being serious or whether he's like being like kidding. And then I'm like, oh, he's like, he actually knows this information.
I remember the first time I met Skunky was on, I think it was on the Max show, but maybe it was here, where he was like, let me show you my basement brewing operation.
Yeah, I believe that was a Max show. That was pretty wild.
I'm
Skunky once gave me a raccoon penis bone. That is.
I do also
Classic
tag
Skunky.
onto that.
So,
To tag onto that, I do like that this show is like all these creative minds that are like from all these different places. You know, like we've got Chicago, Jersey, Oklahoma, Oregon repping right now. You know, like you never know what you're gonna get.
And who knows where Skunky's going to be?
yeah, I love all the road shots from Skunky too. It's really nice to go on a drive with him.
Yeah.
It was nice when you went on that hike too. I think we went on a virtual hike with my photos at one point, and then we went on an actual hike.
We went on a number of hikes with Garbanzo.
And
There was a
swimming. That just looked majestic.
yeah.
Like I was like, I want to see a mountain.
I mean, despite the bear encounter, I'm still jealous of the scenery that was involved with that.
It was beautiful.
Despite the bear encounter.
Despite the bear encounter. If you think about everything except the bear, that was a pretty great time.
Yeah.
Oh no, it would be fun to do one where I take you guys to like New York or something because I live near New York now.
Mm.
Oh, cool.
Walk through a museum or something.
Oh, cool. I'd be into that.
Writing it down.
We can do the minute thing now if you'd like. Just throwing out ideas.
That was a suggestion. I think the way that I brought it up made it seem like more aggressive, like you have to do this than I meant it to sound. I meant to sound it as a suggestion. If people are into that.
Maybe in contrast to Garbanzo's NYC episode, we have an OKC episode. You guys can see how dead it is downtown.
We could really do them on the same episode.
That would be fun.
Really show the contrast.
So contrasty.
I would take you to like on Jersey hikes, but it's nighttime by the time the show comes on here.
I know. Same.
Maybe in the
We
summer.
should do one 8 a.m. episode.
I don't want to wake up that early.
I have thought about at one point that it would be fun to do the cold show.
Are you
where,
a dog this one?
where we just like get cold. But winter's almost over.
We all take cold showers or something.
I mean, I was thinking like go outside in the snow or something, but we're a little past the
You
snow.
know, it's been
time.
some like a mission of mine, okay, to become skilled enough at meditating that I can like tune out when it's cold and just like not be so cold and not be so upset that it's cold. Because that is a skill that people who have really honed their meditation can have, is being able to tune out extreme temperatures. And so I'm like, that's my mission.
End quote has suggested a vagus nerve stimulation group ice bath. I don't really want to do that, but I'm open to everyone else doing that.
I will put a little small kiddie pool right here. Just kidding. No, I have it back here.
You know, I do I think one of the like funny things about doing this show with like so many people who are very creative is that like we're never really at a loss for like ideas of things to do or ideas for shows. We have like a huge document of ideas that we never get to.
I
And
think sometimes, sorry, not to interrupt, but I think sometimes the difficulty is just getting enough people to do them and to commit.
right, no, that's true. That's true. Like,
Which is also a creative problem.
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, in some ways, thinking about it's like ideas that are bigger than the show is, you know? They're ideas that, yeah, work with, you know, if we had like 10 people that could come through, like it would be an amazing like idea. But when there's like, you know, maybe we'll get 4 people, it's harder to do some of those ideas. But I don't know, I guess like I kind of I think the thing that I am kind of nervous to say, but like I think also like is part of why I want to do this show is because I really want to like talk about what the future of this show looks like. Because I am finding like currently like I don't really have the space in my life to like plan a whole big thing and like make a guest and like also like finish writing a song and like you know do all of this stuff. And I don't know that like we have to have those like big ideas. Like it was kind of just the form that this show took when I first started it. Was I was like, I don't know, let's have themes, because I was really inspired by the Chris Gethard show, and like that was a big part of what they did was kind of like have themes to their episodes. And cat, and but like that doesn't necessarily. We don't have to do that, and well, I don't know, we still can. Like, but there are things just kind of going without getting like too personal in my life that are just making it difficult to like put energy into. And also like so much of the hot show for me is like showing the work and like showing the process and stuff. And sometimes it's kind of nice to just like not show the process, like make art that is like finished and you show when it's finished. And I've been working on like a video game for a while. And I mean, I could totally share the process of it and everything, but I also kind of just have been enjoying like working on the video game. And it's a different kind of creativity than I get to do on the hot show. And so it's kind of been like, I haven't felt like I want to do this right now, you know? But like, I also know that it's good for this to happen, but I'm to be honest, like I'm also really afraid that if I don't keep putting in that work, that it just falls apart, you know, like it doesn't keep sustaining itself if I don't keep posting, if I don't keep like doing all of the things to get like the minuscule amount of like attention to it that is there. Like I don't know. It's just like kind of a weird place that I'm finding myself in. And I don't want it to go away because I know that it is important, but I also like, I don't know. I go through periods where I guess I'm like kind of tired, you know, like it's hard to like maintain that much energy, especially like, I mean, like it's so wonderful that like all 4 of you are here. Skunky would absolutely be here if he could. but there's also like some weeks where, you know, we try to like build up a whole thing and then it's just Shelton and I, because nobody can make it that week because we're working from like a pool of like 6 people that might show up. And like, I'm not saying these things to like, hey, like, make it your life more, you know, like be here more, like, because I don't think that you should, like, everyone has other lives, everyone has other creative pursuits, everyone has other things, but like, I guess it's also like a lot of work to make a thing like this happen, and like I get tired.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out the path forward from here, I guess.
There was a lot of information just said.
Yeah, I guess I had a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I think in order to like describe like what you're feeling is like that, like sometimes when it's like, I know like the feeling that you're talking about, like sometimes it's like, oh, it's just us and like you worked on it like all week and stuff. Like I think sometimes it's like how we share the information too. Like, because I know like email is like how people join the show. I think we've tried like Instagram stories too. I think the times when we have like the most like people able to join is when I send a couple text messages.
Yeah, and when I reach out to everyone specifically, there can be more people, but like
that also takes work.
Yeah, I guess that's a big part of what I'm kind of saying is like sometimes I want to put work into other stuff and not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I have some initial thoughts.
Share away.
Love to hear them.
I think it's always kind of interesting when we like come up with project ideas because we have like concepts of where those projects are going or what they're supposed to be. And then sometimes by like doing them, like the experimentation of doing them makes it so that like it's revealed to be something that we might not have expected.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like in the creative process, it's so easy to get like, we like have this idea of like where it's supposed to go, but then we like can kind of miss the magic of where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think what I've been like telling my friends, like even like Eric and I have been talking about like, fuck, being a creative, it sucks. And it's so hard to have like a support system to be a creative. Or I have another friend who we like talk like almost every day about how hard it is to be like a creative in this world and how shitty it feels. And I think that like the concept of this show was to be, you know, like this TV show or this podcast or this thing. But I think what it's kind of turned into is like a support group for creatives.
Yeah.
Like, and so I think the pressure of like coming up with like guests and all of that like maybe needs to be, what I'm hearing is like that's a lot for you to host. You've been doing this for 2 years, Kat, like almost, and that's impressive as hell. But like maybe like that needs to fade away, and maybe what needs to be like put on the front burner is that like this isn't a podcast, this isn't a TV show, this isn't something that you have to tune into, this isn't something we have to promote. This is just a place where like creatives can meet from all over the country or all over the world, that they can be supported. And even if that just means it's like the central group is finding support, and that's fucking magical as hell.
Right.
And that's rare as hell.
Yeah.
And so like maybe the impetus isn't always to like have these new guests or these new things that like make us show up. Maybe it's just that we show up because we want to fucking do weird fucking drawings together, or like it's just like simple things, and it could be just simple things that like. Does that make sense? Like, and I don't know what that
Yeah.
takes form as, but like
Max
maybe
and I were just talking about doing like an AA for creatives kind of thing.
yes, like that's what I want in this world. Like, I
Mm.
feel like that's what the hot show was created, is like an AA for like creatives.
I think like sometimes bringing in a guest kind of inspires me to like
Sure,
to do like because I think
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not every week. That doesn't have to happen. That pressure doesn't have to be every week for us to show up.
yeah.
Like I don't show up for
Well,
the guests.
Right.
I
and-
show up for the
Free
space.
space on guest having episodes. Like just every week is a free space, and then sometimes we're featuring somebody.
Like I show up for the space. I don't show up for the guests that you guys promote. I
Yeah,
show up
right,
for you
right.
guys.
I like seeing everybody in the community, and yeah.
Like when you guys promote it, it's great. I'm excited by interesting things, but like I'm not here. I don't show up because I'm like, oh, that guest sounds really interesting. I show up because I want to see you guys.
Mhm.
I guess part of me is like hoping that like some of the guests like you guys would also interact with too, like because like and I wonder if like there's like a fear that like interacting with like certain guests like might be like nerve-wracking or something, because there's other times when it's like I don't know, we had talked about like some albums and stuff that were like I don't know, sometimes it was just like interesting to have somebody on like for like free space episodes that like we could just invite like any guest that's been on to come join a free space in a way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I think what I don't know. I guess what I'm hearing in that is like that it's not important. Like I guess like when there are guests and like when we are pushing to like kind of have guests happen, it's not kind of to like be a show, and it's not the kind of as like a development of the show, but like instead have guests on because like they are people who would appreciate this space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or they would create space for us.
Right.
Like I think that's why
yeah, like,
Claire was so successful, was that like
right.
it created space for us all to create together.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
rather than it being a space where it's like we're all hanging out and we're supposed to like watch this person and be inspired by this person, which is like cool, but kind of like what the fuck we creatives have to put up with every day all the time. Like we're always being inspired and having to like try to come up with shit. It was more just like I'm an inspiring person, but I'm just gonna like give space for us all to create together. Like that's where I think the magic lies. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, a second to like reflect on that.
Is it okay if while you're reflecting on that, I read out this and end quote rant?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just gonna write.
Or Eric, you've kind of been the voice of and end quote this whole show.
So here's what they have to say. Rant. No pressure for big ideas, cool cats. It's okay to be tired and take breaks. I found out about the show from Jay Garcia's IG post real late into this party back in December. I was part of a weird tiny cult church in high school. I understand the pressure, fatigue, and discouragement. Dan, you put together the art magazine after college. You're always busting your ass for your creative friends, and it's appreciated. You're allowed to rest. You have the official blessing to rest from an end quote. You should take that blessing.
I do appreciate that. I really appreciate that perspective. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting thinking. I actually, I want to give Sheldon, if you want to if you did come up with any thoughts that you wanted to share.
Yeah, I guess I'm asking like everybody like if we had like if there's something intimidating about like guest episodes that like the way that like Claire's episode worked was just kind of like people just kind of came on and joined. Like I think the first couple minutes was Claire just talking about like her work, and then we talked about and then we just made some art and we just got right into it, which was fun. And I'm wondering if there's a format that kind of works that like that allows anyone to kind of join just based on like the fun of it, you know? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you guys would feel comfortable like joining and being yourselves with like, because I think of it as like we're like not like in art school, but like I had this like group like Facebook group that I like had that was just called fucking art students in college that like it's like we're all gonna like and I would just post like I'm gonna go on a walk like and do chalk drawings on the stairs. If anybody wants to join me, you're welcome to. And sometimes like one person would show up and sometimes it would be like somebody would be walking by and they would just join me and like I don't know, that was kind of nice. Did that make any sense?
Yeah. I have a couple other thoughts, but I want to let Garbanzo and Eric have a chance.
Let me think on
I
that.
agree. It's art school vibes. It's hanging out with the chill people vibes. Yeah, I mean, like the only reason I haven't made it the last couple of weeks has been, just like hot. I've been tired from doing all my creative shit. I've wanted to be a little hermit crab. So, yeah, I can't blame you, but also I do think like everybody, like Luda and Shelton have been saying, like, we don't even necessarily need the special themes or guests or whatever. We're here to hang out and just chill and have a good time.
Yeah, I do think that what am I saying? I guess when I like have thought about the show, so often what I think of is like when I think about like kind of what I want this to be, it is kind of what you are talking about, where it's people just show up because it's like a weird place to show up, and like you get to like do some weird drawings or something, and then or like I don't know, you're at Niagara Falls and you just wanted to like come in and it totally like messes up with whatever rhythm, and like that sort of stuff is great. And like I don't know, yeah, like going on the walk, like where you're just like, hey, I'm doing this thing, like anyone who wants to do it like can do it too, and be a part of it and bring like, hey, I brought a pad of paper, do you want to like do a weird drawing game with me real quick? But I guess I've never known whether or not that was like how to get people to keep being there, because like, or like how to bring more people into that, because like,
right,
like it's nice to do when we have like a group like this, that we can like get something happening, or like that Claire McCauley episode where like we had enough people just kind of like showing up that we ended up it worked, it just kind of worked. But it doesn't always happen like that, and so it's just like we need like just slightly more people to fill it out, And I don't know how to do that necessarily without the special stuff.
Yeah, without like.
Can I raise my hand?
I'm gonna.
Please.
I know you raised your hand, but I'm just gonna add on like
'Cause
one other thing that like it's like I also want to allow people to just like live their life and like I don't want to be like, hey, like no one showed up this week. Like that's not the vibe that I want.
Right.
But I just want there to be enough people where it's like, hey, like, yeah. So Luda.
Okay, so I have to say that like I'm trying to think of how to say this so that like you guys can how do I say it? Okay. As a person who studied marketing and has re-entered the marketing world and remembered like, oh yeah, I fucking know how to market shit. I completely forgot that I knew how to market shit and has been remembering that for the past month. When I talk about the hot show with friends and try to talk about how I explain it, I use the words that you guys have given me. And it doesn't work because I'm like, well, it's like this TV show, podcast, Skype thing. And like that, it doesn't hit with people. But what I'm hearing from this conversation tonight, which actually hits to the truth of what I think the hot show is, and what I think is super needed in this world, is it's a supportive group for artists. And I think that if I told my artist friends, like, hey, I'm part of this support group for artists, I think that a shit ton more people would show up than if I'm saying, oh, I'm part of this podcast, TV show, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I think that like trying to do the TV show, and I'm going to go a little art school critique, and I want to be really gentle and tell me if I'm too hard.
We're okay.
This is what this show,
okay.
meta episode is to me. It's to get into this stuff.
Okay. If I'm gonna go a little hardcore art school critique show, I think that the success, like the moment, like I remember like the 100th episode, the year episode or whatever.
Only 75.
When Shelton like had this moment that was like so fucking real, and you could see how much this show hit Shelton. Like that's like, or like the stories that like Max, or just like all these different stories we have, like it's because we as artists have felt like supported. But like I think the impetus of like, or like the trying to grow it and trying to bring new people and trying to like spread the word, I think that's where like the messaging gets lost, because it's like there's been a couple episodes where like I haven't been on the show for a really long time, and you guys have had like a person who is presenting and it's important, and then I like log on, and then it's like I can't get on, and I understand because that person needs to like talk. You're giving space to that person, you're giving space to that host, or that you're hosting that person, you want to like give that space to them, and I respect that because I know when I show up it's fucking randomness and who knows what the fuck's gonna happen. But then that doesn't feel like, it's like the pressure of like having guests make it so that like the space shrinks for the people. Does that make sense? Like don't try to elevate it so much that you elevate it so that you're taking it away from the people that it's serving. Does that make sense? So like I don't think and I understand, Kat, like, yeah, you've been doing this for so long, and I think that like, yes, having different episodes and themes every week is great, and having different guests is great, but like I think that like you're putting so much pressure on yourself, and like I never show up for any of that shit. I show up to hang out with you guys because it makes me feel good. And I think that most of us show up because it makes us feel good and to hang out with you guys. Like not because, oh, there's this one guest and I really want to hear what they have to say. Like, and not to say like you're not bringing great guests. It's just that's not the space that this is serving.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear that.
I also want to say I do feel a little bummed because I feel like sometimes we've brought like guests on that like I guess I don't want to say bum, but I want to say that like I think that there's a balance between providing a space where people get to share their work and providing a space where people get to create work with us. And I think that you can do both. You know what I mean? And the other thing
Yeah.
that I want to share is like I do like that the hot show is generally positive, and I think if we only say it as like a support group for artists, like that branding, like it is, but it also isn't, you know, like because I don't.
That's why I like social group. We're a social group. We're here to hang out. We're here to
Yeah, because I will say like there's times when like we do get real and we talk about like stuff that's like more serious, but like if it was a space where we just talked about what was going like things that are I don't know if I could come every week, you know what I mean? I think it's like this space that's like happy and positive and like there are like some real moments that are like we get a little real like
Yeah.
because I will say I went one time to like this space that was like it was supposed to be a professional like workspace for photographers and then this person just trauma dumped on me the whole time and I was like fuck like I'm not equipped to handle this like I also like just wanna like just have like fun and like just be goofy, you know.
Right. Yeah, I remember on that Hot Show Turns 1 episode, like the thing that you got real about was that like you had been going through like a hard time at work, like where you had been experiencing all these crazy things, especially during COVID and stuff. And this was a space to just kind of be silly and like it kind of was separate. It's kind of out from the world, sort of. And I do hear that too. Like I think that makes a lot of sense.
Can I?
Yeah,
Sorry.
are you raising your hand again?
I'm raising my hand again. I just want to I want to step in because I think my definition is getting a little bit misunderstood. When I say this is support group for artists, I don't mean that then this turns into an AA meeting, literally where we're like, hey, how was your week for art? And that's all we do.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what AA is either. Also, AA is just a group where people hang out sometimes and they just happen to all be able to talk. Like my friend Griffin, the first time he told me about an AA meeting, he's like, I'm just going bowling with some buddies and sometimes you occasionally talk about drinking. Does that make sense?
It does.
With branding, branding can go two ways. So branding can be one of those things where you let the brand define you or you let yourself define the brand. And what I'm trying to say is let us define the brand. And I'm not saying okay, so this is just a support group for artists and that's all it becomes.
Right.
I'm just saying
No.
Successfully where this is hitting for me is that point. And so focusing on that, whereas hot is almost so where do the pressure points get relieved? So that doesn't mean never have any guests.
Right.
Saying maybe don't put all the pressure on the guests, that this is a group that's flourishing, and where does that go,
But yeah, I think the what you were saying about the show, that it can be frustrating when you show up and you can't get on, but also what Sheldon was saying, that it is also kind of an important part of being able to bring a guest on and kind of be hey, these are the things that are fucking cool about the work that you do, and I don't want to just easily derail from that. And I think a big part of like, for me, is just not knowing where that balance is. You know, there's that balance again.
But you could.
But like, and so like, it's really been such a like not being. I think like really, it's like not being clear in my own mind about what this show is. Makes it hard to make those decisions of, do I bring someone that just like popped in? Do I bring them into this episode or not? Because like there are also certain guests that like, there was one guest that came on who is admittedly a kind of shyer, introverted person, and I started bringing on like everyone onto that episode, and we basically scared them off, like, because they were. I just kind of started bringing everyone on, and then we had 5 people on, and there was, for somebody who's kind of like shy, like that was a lot to handle.
No, that makes total sense. I think that like, I think maybe that then, I think that like you've been slowly really good at creating like structures. Like one structure that you've created is that like when somebody comes on, you like sing the song, but like maybe for yourself, I think that like one of the reasons why I always love the movie Amelie.
Great movie.
You guys see the movie Amelie?
Yep.
The reason why I always loved Amelie was because it was like this clear color scheme. It was like this blue and this green and this yellow and this red, and I was just like, that's fucking hot as hell. Like that's just like creates this like structure. And I think like sometimes creatives like need a structure. And so like for you to like build the show, and also for you to like support us in the show, maybe it's having like a structure where it's like, okay, so when we have a guest, that means for the first 15 to 30 minutes or whatever you choose to, whatever it is, that guest is just interviewed and everybody watches the guest. And then after that, then everybody is welcome to like hop on. And then after 30, 45 minutes, then we enter into the group exercise or like whatever it is. And if you can just kind of like create this structure, it might like ease your mind to like know that you always have this structure. Like for myself, for like work, I'm working on like these style guides and like with marketing and whatever. And like, they're like, we've never had a style guide. And I'm like, here, I love to do style guides. And they're like, you can just like see their brains being like, cool. Oh, like we're so relaxed. Like sometimes you just need to have those like structures, because when you have no structure, it makes for so much chaos that like the creativity just goes so crazy that you just need like that framework.
Yeah. I do want to say, Eric in the private chat is saying he has to go. It's been lovely to have you here. Thanks for being here. You're the best. Have a good night.
Thanks, Eric. Enjoy your potatoes.
Bye, Eric.
Yeah, there was one time I was talking to Max, and we were talking about the idea of like, there was something like I think some show we were talking about, or I mean, in some way, I know that I was talking about like the Chris Gethard show. Like, there's at a certain moment in every show, there was a point where the ending song would just start playing. Like, no matter what was happening, it was an hour-long episode. At 59 minutes, they would start playing, like the house band would just start playing the song to end the show. Even if Chris Gethard, the host of the show, was in the middle of saying like a big important monologue, they would just start playing that song, which I always.
There's no time. Sorry.
Not that one.
I'm just being facetious.
But like, we were talking about, Max and I were talking about this idea of like there being like kind of like a game that you could play that would sort of be like, this is the last thing that's going to happen. Is at the end of the show, we do this thing or something.
Like, I had to come up with a branding statement for you right now. I would say it's like the Mr. Rogers for creatives. And like, I think that that's why your songs and like these video elements that Ryan's been coming up with, or like the Gulliver segments, like it's like if you have those things, I think that like, especially because we have so many neurodivergent people who show up to the show, it's like having those structures is like comfortable. It's like, oh, it's Gulliver time. Like, okay, great. Like, we know it's Gulliver time. That makes us feel comfortable. Like, but I think like having those structures takes off the pressure from you as a host.
Right.
Because you're like, now I don't have to reinvent a new show every fucking week. I just know I have somebody.
You're screaming a little bit. It's really loud.
I was screaming a little?
Yeah, it was just a little like, nah! And I had to turn down. I'm going to either turn down my volume but then I can't hear Hot the
What
Cat.
did you say? Sorry.
I was like, I had to turn down my volume, but then I couldn't hear Hot the Cat.
Sorry, it's raining, so I was trying to yell over the rain.
Yeah, I do see a comment in the chat from Ann, quote, maybe a loose theme to help people join and connect each week. I really wanted to join the show and tell episode, but that didn't work out. I was going to show my pathetic first attempts at crochet.
That's also like, I like that, like, there's like the idea that like I like being a loose thing, because I think like just a structure, like speaking of like neurodivergence, like I think like a theme, like a general theme, like there can be like free space episodes, but then like a theme that kind of like, because if it was just like us every week, I think sometimes the theme helps me get into like a mode to be creative, and like even if it's just like potatoes, like
right. Well, yeah, I mean, like I write songs based on the theme, and if I just had free reign to write any song, no songs would ever be written.
Yeah. And like, so I have a cousin who has Asperger's, and he, like, when we are at a family event, like his uncle, like my uncle has said multiple times, like if he stays for like 4 hours or for 4 hours for a whole holiday, I take that as a win, because he needs to be like, for my cousin specifically, like he needs to be doing something specific. And if it was just us hanging out talking, like he's like, fuck this, like my social anxiety is up to here, I can't concentrate, like
right.
But so, like for me, like I think like I agree with like the loose theme idea, like sounds like it has a good benefit.
No, I do think that also, you know, what Luda is kind of saying is like the elements that we have kind of slowly been developing do also provide some of that structure without it having to be like a like established thing every time. Like at any moment.
Yeah.
Like and I don't think they're mutually exclusive things either. Like I think you can have both, but like at any time someone could go, hey, why don't we like do some speed drawing? And then we just do some speed drawing.
Yeah. I like it.
I'm not saying a clear structure. I'm just saying that like the structures that you guys have already developed, I think could take off pressure from Kat having to develop a new show every week. And also could create a framework that could be supportive.
Did you just say your brain is fried?
I think my brain is just starting to get tired.
Yeah.
I think being meta can just make your brain tired. I think it's important.
Yeah.
And then quote says, I think it's important to allow things in ourselves to evolve. The basic structure sounds like a good idea to reduce some pressure on Hot the Cat. Be gentle with yourselves and challenge yourselves when you can. Peaks and valleys. Life is meaningless. Smash the patriarchy. Loud noises. This feels like a terrible time to log off, but it's a brain wind down sleep time. Sending my love to. Thank you. Toodles for now. Sorry, I got distracted.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo, toodles. Thank you so much for joining. And end quote. It's been
No,
lovely.
It's been really
all
great
your comments, and
that.
you've been very helpful.
Yeah, and I do want to say that, like, I'm not trying to, solve this show, like, and we're going to have a thing forever that this is what it's going to be. I think, and in quotes, right, like, it's so important to evolve. And I think, to me, this episode is about, like, okay, this has been going in a certain way, and in a lot of ways, I think it's kind of working, but in other ways, there is maybe some pressures that need to be, like, off, or there needs to be some kind of focus of branding or something. We need a style guide for this, but, like, I am interested in, like, what happens next, and I want it to continue because I do, like, for me, like, saying and talking about all of this meta stuff was really important. But I really appreciate, Shelton, that you kind of started the meta part off with just kind of being like, hey, what does everyone like about this? Because that brought out some of, like, the why we're doing it, It's easy for me to get into all the crazy, like, thoughts about it and everything. And I don't know, I understand we're, tired and stuff, and we're pretty late in this episode, and people are getting beards and stuff. I do want to say I really appreciate all of you, including you and end quote, for being here and, like, going through the process of, like, examining what it is we're doing, and, like, I don't know, it's great. I really appreciate all of you. You're great.
You too.
We appreciate you too. Hot the cat. Nice Gulliver pin, by the way. I noticed that earlier, and it was not the time to mention it.
Gulliver pin.
I think my brain is a little tired, but do you guys want to, like, I think, would it be okay with everyone if we just do, like, a last, like, drawing or something? I think we have a lot of ideas on, like, things for game planning.
I'm pretty
tired, so I want to
ready to move on.
Yeah. Do you want to? I would say, in my mind, there's we could do any of the drawing things we usually do.
Can I
go ahead.
I just feel like I want to make something, and I just want to ask everyone to make a mess on the page. Like, make a mess. Like, make any mess. And I'm going to get watercolors and
making a mess. Just making a mess on the page.
It would be supportive for you and I to talk about this offline. We can.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
What'd you say?
If it'd be nice to talk about this off the show sometime, we could.
Yeah.
Especially with your branding expertise.
Oh, Now that I got back into it, now I'm.
Luda, are you gonna make a mess with us?
Yeah, I just have to go inside. Hold on.
Making a mess. I'm checking it twice.
Gonna find out. If poop makes a mess. I don't know.
Make page my page. I'm making a mess on my page.
I weirdly needed this.
Yeah, I actually think I had some other ideas, but I think this is great.
I think I just said what I needed. I'm gonna be honest. I was like,
Yeah, no, it's wonderful.
this is really getting everywhere.
Oh, let's do some art. I want to see your paintings of clouds.
Let's do some art.
Draw our faces both mouths. Oh, I want to see what you create. What can you do with paper mache? I want to make some art with you. Come on and grab that glitter and glue. Let's do some art.
This is turning out kind of nicely for chaos.
I would say mine looks a lot like chaos.
Can that be the quote on my gravestone? This is turning out awfully nice for chaos.
That sounds like a good gravestone quote.
Yeah.
My friend yesterday texted me about he was just talking about he was getting portraits taken for the first time, and this photographer just phrases the photo shoot as just an adventure to take with you, and I just thought that was so fucking cool because that's the way that I prefer to take portraits. Let's go on a walk through this area of the city that I like, or let's go out at golden hour on a nice day or whatever, and that's just cool. And I don't know.
The death thing reminds me of this Instagram post I saw of a card that this granny wanted passed around at her funeral. And it was a photo of her flicking people off. And it was like, if you want to get in contact with me, this was supposed to be handed out at funerals. If you want to get in contact with me, and then it showed a Ouija board.
Yeah, I saw
fucking amazing. Yes, that's what I wanted handed out at my funeral.
What an interesting motivator, Spike.
You want to get in contact with me?
I think I'm happy with how this looks. I think I'm ready to end. Do you guys want to see it?
Sure.
Can't see.
Can't see it.
Ooh.
Oh. Some watercolor.
That did turn out pretty nice.
I'm afraid to close it because I kind of want it to dry how it is. Whoa.
That's a nice mess.
Cool.
Whoa. Show it again. Show it again. I got a sneak peek. Ooh. Way to fuck it up, Garbanzo. That's good.
Nice.
Theirs and mine look like they're siblings in a weird way. We used a lot of
Mine's
looks
not
like-
done yet.
It looks like the two of ours combined.
Yeah.
It kind of does.
like if mine is the one spouse and yours is the other spouse.
Yeah. We put him in Dan and he had the
This is like the other day when we were talking about like making something creative. It's
Girl,
like
where are you?
when I was like, it's like you take the one thing that's one parent and then make baby.
Yeah. Oh, I think I might, since Luda's still working, I think I might work somewhere on mine.
I'm gonna try to get mine to drip more this way so that it dries in a way that works for me.
I've been drinking a lot of water and I've had to pee like 5 times during this show.
That's good. I only had a little bit of water.
Honestly, I did a really good job of drinking a lot of water. I filled up this whole thing and I drank it on the whole show.
That's one of my
Remember
favorite
to-
things about the hot
Yeah.
show. One of my favorite things to come out of it is that I sing "Remember to Hydrate" like all the
Can
time.
you just like randomly sing that to me? Like send me an audio file like once randomly throughout the day. Like remember to hydrate. And I just immediately remember where I have to go back to water. That's a lot to ask for. I like the randomness of it.
Oh man, I should get something as an alarm.
What?
Garbanzo is frozen.
Remember to hydrate.
Wherever you are.
Find a tap, a water bottle, clear mountain spring, and let's take a drink.
Wait, I didn't get to share mine.
Well, get sharing then.
I think something's going on with the internet.
Oh.
Wow, that's a lovely little mess there.
What the fuck? Oh wait.
It's so hard.
It's so hard. What the
Just do the opposite of what your brain thinks.
There you go. Hold it right there. Wait, everybody hold theirs up.
Gotta find one.
How do all squares? Oh my god, everything just fell everywhere.
They all kind of match in a weird way.
I don't know how, but I lost mine already.
Great.
Screenshot. Someone take a screenshot.
Hold on.
Hold on, I can get it.
Screenshot. There we go.
I needed that. I needed to make some art rather than just talk about.
You gotta let it out.
Yeah,
Let's
you
make
know,
another one.
I did think about that.
I want to make another one.
It's getting kind of
I think that's all I've got in me today.
That's okay.
I promised myself I would paint tonight.
Go
I
paint.
really liked what you
Garbanzo.
made with the mess. That was nice.
It's fun to make messes. That's kind of all my art is.
How
You
much?
kind of are
Garbanzo?
you are kind of a master of messes.
Yeah,
I will say
that's
that.
true.
Well, thank you. I'm a master of something.
Please put that on your LinkedIn. Master of messes.
Master of messes.
I mean, yeah, like this is basically just a mess.
That's a
Hold on,
really
let's get
cool,
that big.
pretty mess.
That's a cool mess.
If you look at the back, it's
It's
just
a
garbage.
mess.
Okay, wait. I love the back. Can I see the back again?
It's a blanket and a piece of a letter.
Can you
On
hold
the
it
back?
the other way again? You're going to. It was
Back?
wait, and then more towards me. Yeah, oh, other way, other way. No, other way. Slower, and then that same direction. Like
Keep turning.
other way, like that side, the other side, but that like what you're doing, vertically. Nope. Keep going. Just keep rotating. Stop. I really like that. There's something really pleasing about that side. We lost
Well,
Luda.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well-
I'm off to make messes.
Well, maybe we'll.
Oh, Luda's back. Oh, Luda's gone. Oh, Luda's back.
You made it better.
It was the hot show. Thank you all for coming down. It was the hot show. Thank you all for sticking around. Hope you had some fun, but now the show's done. So go on, get out of here. Thanks so much, everyone. You're the best. Good night.